minutes late. Sorry about that, folks. Technical challenges as usual. Let me turn this around. Smith Banfield. Coming at ya. Hey, Erin. Haven't seen you in a while. So, hey, I'm Smith Banfield. I'm here on day 7 of my 30-day challenge. My company is called ClearSpace, and I teach people how to live with less so they can bring more beauty, joy, order, and efficiency into their homes and into their lives. And I like to do it with a little bit of fun, non-judgment. Want to really emphasize that organization is really something that can be learned. Most people tell me, oh, I'm a mess, whatever. It's like you just don't have a system. So I'm sharing some different systems. Thank you for the love. Hi, Erin. Can we please catch up soon? It's been just too long. Yeah, whatever. I get distracted when I get my little notes from people. Sorry about that. Yes. Hey, Rossi. So yes, I want to talk about how people, condemn themselves, yes, systems. And they condemn themselves and say, I don't have a system, or, I'm not organized. And it's just a matter of making that system, and people don't feel like they can, so they don't. And it's okay. Like, I'm going to give you some suggestions. This may or may not work for you. Everyone's got a different setup, different situation. So I'm going to share today about shoes. And shoes, I feel like I will be a millionaire when I come up with the perfect shoe solution, because it's in my brain and I'd love to get it out there. Because all the places I go, man, everybody's got all these shoes, like so many, right? And they stink, and they're like, when you live in the city, it's a whole other ball game. Like you don't even know what you're tracking in the house. So then you end up having the pile outside the door, and then you don't want stuff in your closet with your clothes. So I'm going to share with you how I break it down. So this cabinet right behind me here, that's really, I totally manifested that cabinet because I used to have a different table there that just was a magnet for shoes. It was actually that table. So that table used to be there, and it just got junky. So I wanted a closed solution when we first walked in the space, and it made a huge difference, because my husband's stuff is on that side and mine's on that side, and it's just my everyday shoes depending on the season. So I have another closet over here where I have my coats, and in there I store my boots, because when you've got tall boots, that's a whole other issue. So I only have like ankle boots and sneakers and the occasional flip-flops, because it's always 80 degrees in here. In that cabinet, in the summertime, I then take out the boots and then put in my sandals and stuff that I'm wearing more regularly. I then keep special shoes in my closet downstairs. So these are my lovely shoes, the shoes I've spent money on, the ones that I really care for and treat very well. And even though those get worn outside, I don't have a problem just sort of like wiping them down with a baby wipe, just to kind of like make them feel a little cleaner going into that closet. And I've just discovered like a new technique that I really love. If you have or have access to essential oils, you can just put a dab on a little cotton ball and put it in the areas where you store your shoes. So you don't have to do chemical stuff to get the smell away. You want to use more natural stuff. And baking soda in the shoes is great. It's kind of nice to maybe take an old sock, throw some baking soda in that, rubber band it, and stick those in the shoe so it doesn't become really messy. But the thing I find is, especially women and the occasional couple of men I've met, have a lot of sentimental attachment to shoes that they've spent money on. And like they don't take into account all the mileage they've put on these shoes. And they look worn. And again, I said this, I think 2 posts ago. that my coach, Linda DiCarlo, said to me, which was, you want to be platinum, and people are looking at your shoes and your bag. I'm a professional. I'm selling who I am on every time I'm out and about. So I do take a critical eye at my shoes and my bag, and really, am I giving the polished appearance I want? And that's something like I've had sneakers for like 7 years that I didn't wear that often, but as soon as that tread is gone, these are not shoes I ran in, by the way, these were fashion sneakers. Soon as that tread is gone, you really have to let them go for comfort reasons, but also just out of them being a little slippery and dangerous. But speaking of running sneakers, I met a woman a couple weeks ago who has a great product called Set Ready, which is something you hang a garment with in that you can travel with, but it also has pockets, so you can like put together the entire wardrobe that you're going to wear in a day. But anyway, I digress. She told me that she knows a guy who manufactures sneakers. And the thing about running sneakers, regardless of how often you use them and how often you wear them, in 6 months, the sole, the plastic it's made of, breaks down, regardless of use. So I want you to think about this. If you're being cost conscious and you think it's smart to spend $200 on a pair of sneakers, great if you can afford it. But realize if you are going to run in these sneakers, they absolutely need to be replaced no matter what usage they've had in 6 months, because it's really going to damage your body. And that was interesting to learn. I thought, I hadn't really heard it that way. I thought it was really the mileage that was put on the sneaker, but it really is time. So 6 months and you need to get a new pair. Stephanie, I saw your post. Yeah, platinum image, it's it's not for everybody, but there is this idea of we are, it's not so much about being judged, but to me it's more about feeling good. And when you can really take the critical eye to, would I buy this in a store right now? That's going to give you your answer. Here I've seen, I won't be able to think of the show. Yes, Stephanie, I'm sure you and a lot of other people need new running shoes. I do too, but I don't run anymore, so I don't care. But I would say that there's these guys who like collect those really expensive sneakers, and they've got like warehouses full and more shoes than they could wear one different pair a year, but they keep them in pristine condition. And I don't think that that's necessarily the issue, that the breaking down of the rubber or plastic or whatever it's made out of is an issue for them. But the care that is taken to keep these sneakers in like such platinum quality, I so appreciate that. And the folks I've seen who've done it, you see the rows and rows of sneakers, they're very organized. They might be this high and like have aisles to go through, but they know where they all are. They have them color coded, and they match their hat and all this stuff. Thank you. Yes, Cribs would be the place to see something like that. But, there is this thing of, I can appreciate shoes. I love shoes. They can transform any outfit. And it's really about, if your shoes, a lot of this I look at, the way people are living, and if you've got piles of stuff, it's really about how you're treating them. Correct, Stephanie. I'm sorry, I had to read that. Brand name has no impact on the sneaker quality. It's all, every one of them is made the same way. Now, there might be better technology in like a Nike versus, I don't know, Saucony, whatever. I don't know those facts, but I would say you definitely want to stick to the rule of, okay, well, I don't want to spend $200 every 6 months. So then you want to scale back and find the sneaker that fits your foot and gives you the cushion and support that you need for your type of foot. And I did run for years and years and years, so I know how important it is to have a good sneaker where you don't get blisters and stuff. So you definitely want to read reviews. I would recommend trying them on. But there's something about, getting back to before Stephanie's question, the way you treat these items. If you've got a fabulous pair of shoes that you spent $500 on, are you going to put them in a pile on the ground of your closet. Probably not with a bunch of others piled on top of there. So you want to, like, for me, it's about respecting the objects and respecting yourself and really looking at, I paid, you know, I took my hard-earned money to buy these, and I want them to last as long as possible. And I would say, I don't know where everyone lives in different places, but walking distance from here, I have a guy who resoles my shoes, and that's something that can transform your shoe. If you're not one to keep up with shoe shining and stuff, I'm too lazy to do that stuff. Luckily, my husband will do it for me to snow seal and stuff. But this guy, he put a brand new pair of Vibram soles on my favorite boots, and I actually like the boots better now because they have a better grip. They're better in different weather. And think about, you know, there are fixes. Now, it cost me $40, but it was better than buying a new pair of boots that would have cost me, I don't know, another 100 or so. So I'm going to wrap up for now. Thank you guys for joining. I had one of those crazy days. Those of you in New York know it was like a downpour kind of day. But I'll take it over the freezing bitter cold. It's actually quite balmy right now. Tomorrow, let's see what I'm talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going in the kitchen. So I'm going to talk about creating zones in the kitchen. This is like one of my favorite things to do. I can remember when my sister-in-law moved to her second apartment with her husband. I took everything out of all of her cabinets and put it in the center of the room, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So please join me then for day 8. Thank you all for joining. Again, my name is Smith Banfield. Have a fabulous night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.